Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's a super special episode of the NFL podcast Laces Out. There's special guest galore today, people shipping in from all over the country to come and be a guest on the podcast. Isn't that nice? So this is it. It's the Cookiecast NFL podcast Laces Out.
Yeah, it was basically going to be the fact that, over the next two drafts, I've got something ridiculous, 11 picks.
14.
In the first two
14 draft picks.
So,
in next year's draft, they've got 14 draft picks.
building
That's fucking insane.
what is going to be a Patriots beating Miami Dolphins team.
But all I'm
They're going to
good.
rename themselves
But it's like I
Miami
said-
Flying Pigs.
Exactly. It's like I said last week. All they're going to do is they're going to have all the people they basically draft in the next couple of years. They're going to have to cherry pick which ones they want to keep because they're not going to be able to renew all their contracts at the same time.
But it's
So they're fucking screwed.
but it's currency, isn't it?
But that's
They
what you
are
keep on doing. You
future draft picks
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I suppose.
roll it over and you roll it over and you hope that...
Plus, I suppose it gives them trade stuff, doesn't it? So they can trade for either players or when use the draft picks to trade for players.
Yeah, so
as
you
well.
get 14 good players, and of those players you pick the ones you want to keep, and then the rest is currency.
Yeah.
So you
True.
get future draft picks, and you just, over the next 3, 4, 5 years, you build an absolute wonder team.
Well, they've just got Talib as well, aren't they, from the Rams. But
I think
everyone's-
his contract's done at the end of the season.
well, he's out. He's on injured reserve, isn't he? And I think the earliest he can report is week 16 anyway. So it's like he probably won't ever actually play down for him. It's just a case of he was. It was the Rams wanted him off the cap space, and I think the Dolphins were like, "Yeah, we've got fucking shit tons of cap space, so we'll just eat it."
We don't have any players, so...
But he's not going to play for us.
No.
So
That's a crazy thing, because I was listening to not completely the same, but like in the NBA, there's a cap. Obviously, they've got the cap that they can't go over. There's also a cap floor that they've got to reach.
So they have to spend.
They have
at least
to
this
spend
much.
this in wages. Now, what most of them do is you get to the end of the season, you just share the money out between the players.
Bonuses.
But this is where do you remember Donald Sterling? Well, do you remember the Donald Sterling thing with the LA Clippers about God, how many years ago is it now? It's about 4 years ago now. Basically, he's a horrific racist, but
nice.
owned the LA Clippers for years, and they just kind of turned a blind eye to it.
There was a lot of... Oh, what? I didn't hear anything, did you?
He's a bit of a... he's very good friends with the Oakland Raiders former owner, Jerry...
Oh my God, what the hell's his name?
What's his brother? His son, who now has the best hairpiece you've ever seen. It genuinely looks like a dead animal.
Keep talking.
It's,
Oh God, what's his name?
But he would go out and just trade for a really shit player on a big contract, so he didn't have to share the money around the other players. He was a complete dick.
I mean, the NBA has hit that thing now where they have the ability to buy a championship.
Yeah.
And obviously it comes under a lot of criticism.
Well, they're struggling at the moment because a lot of Al Davis. They're getting stuck into the football soccer kind of model of players going, I want to leave, and they go, all right, then we'll trade you. No, I want to go there, and they're like, oh well, we don't want to trade you there. Wow, tough shit. I want to go there, kind of thing, which is because they've got that much leverage and they can make that much money. They just tell people where they want to go, and there's no kind of thing. Keep on worrying about it with the NFL, but then Todd Gurley's absolutely ruined himself this year, so it won't be a problem anymore.
So,
Welcome along. Oh yeah, apparently you have to do the intro as the guest.
Oh, what?
right, that's
No,
it.
he
Go.
Welcome along, everyone, to the latest instalment of Laces Out.
Laces Out. Obviously, we're going to have to address the elephant in the room. And for once, it's not Stu.
Oh.
We have a new guest, ladies and gentlemen.
You've heard his voice before.
Popping cherries left, right, and centre.
Oh my! Oh dear! Oh dear God!
I knew there was a reason there was video on this as well.
Video.
Oh my! Oh dear!
I'm here. My glamorous co-host, Mr. Paul Williams.
In a new scene.
Our featured guest, Mr. Stuart Woodmansey.
I'm starting to feel like the bad penny now. So, you know.
And our newest guest, Mr. Matthew Moore. Congratulations to you, sir. Consider your cherry officially. If I could do the pop. Yeah.
There we go. Bosh.
We are here today to discuss
Week 8.
The week 8 that was, and the week 9 to come. I don't need this book. I don't know why I think it makes me feel important.
I see.
Does anybody have anything to discuss for week 8, 2019 season?
Can you not, you can't really start anywhere else other than 8-0 up, can you? Or 8-0 Patriots. As bad as that is.
Yeah, but they've gone 16 before. No, they've gone 16-0 before.
Gone all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so technically they went 18-0 and then lost the last game.
The thing that I've got on here says that it's the third time they've done it in franchise history, so it's obviously not like...
It's nothing big to the Patriots at this point. They're a bit like... I was listening to Uncle Billy, as we call it in our house. Should we listen to some Uncle Billy? I was listening to Bill Bear and he was literally rattling through the next X number of weeks of Patriot games, and it's like, Jesus.
Well, this is the thing. So,
and I know we've done it. We did it last week, didn't we? We talked about like the games that the Patriots have got coming up, and it's like...
So, fair enough, they're 8-0. Who have they really beat? The toughest test they probably had was the Bills.
Yeah, but it's still, to me, no matter what sport it is, it's the old adage, you just beat what's in front of you, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but so they've got to go on the road this week to Baltimore.
Oh, I'm sure
If they can beat them, fair enough.
Come on, Matt Andrews.
I'll start giving them a bit of credit, but up till now, oh dear. Had to do it, didn't you?
Yeah, it started early.
That might not be the only
It'll be the
podcast
shortest guest appearance ever.
gets
No,
kicks
keep
over
on mentioning
the stove.
keep on mentioning Mark Andrews. I'm done. No.
Maybe
I know
the
it's not
only
him, but
podcast
still.
that you made Mark Andrews' name on the.
And as a guest, he was never seen again. Obviously, we can't talk about the Patriots without talking about the Patriots' defense. Obviously, we thought there would be a point where teams would start pulling away in the have scored more touchdowns than the Patriots' defense.
Oh dear.
This isn't the week, though. Apparently,
Yeah.
They haven't got a touchdown a game, have they?
I think that what I heard was they've scored 4, they've only conceded 3, which is absolutely insane. And the other thing that I'd heard on a podcast was they've scored 174 fantasy points, which is just absolutely insane.
Someone had tweeted something like it was the highest scoring fantasy players. So I think McCaffrey was pretty much at the top.
oh, jeez.
You had Dalvin Cook was in there because he's just getting shitloads of points. Aaron Jones and keeps getting loads of points.
Would have thought Mike Evans.
Mike Evans will probably be on there. And then in about the 12th slot overall was the New England Patriots defense. It's like, what the fuck? That never happened.
I'm sure the picture I'd been sent had them at 8th.
It might have gone up now because they just keep getting ridiculous numbers.
Well, the thing that I'd kind of read was that no special teams or D thing had ever scored 200 points in a season.
Right.
Well, they're going to do that, you know. So, and it's, I think, people can shit on the Pats and all this kind of thing. I'm not a closet Patriots fan, but
That's all the closet Patriots.
nobody ever admits to it. But
if it was to take off that Kelsey jersey,
but it's not like
a Brady tattoo.
Obviously they got compared to Man United, and obviously the one time that Bill Belichick deemed the UK worthy of him coming over to play a game, of course he went and spent some time with Alex Ferguson.
Right, okay, fair enough.
But they're not Man United.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that splashy free agent that they've given a shit ton of money to. They don't have, Brady does a discount every year because his wife makes tens of hundreds of millions selling underwear.
This is the thing. Isn't it something like they did like a tally of it or something like that, and it's something like over the last 4 seasons he's basically passed on 40 million worth of guarantees or something like that because he just doesn't need the cash.
18th of October, I was sent a picture that showed the fantasy scoring leaders. I was wrong. They at the 18th of October were the 14th.
It's just unprecedented for a team. As you regularly get messages from me, what the fuck is the point? Is the point of having a D? It just cost me points. It drives me mad.
Stu would never ever comment on the defence being
just
terrible.
To put that into perspective, above and below. So 15 is Cooper Kupp.
He's just gone off though. In the last couple of weeks, he's gone insane.
And above is Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he does. He seems to have started quite well.
On the note of the Patriots defence, as I was playing against them in fantasy this week, they did add just the 20 points to their tally this week.
Yeah, but it's alright because that team's unmanned, so you must have beat them.
I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Can't imagine at any point we'll be talking about that. Right, let's dig in, strap in.
Now this is the weekly stats roundup provided by Leanne's brother across the pond.
Brother from another mother.
It's absolutely not.
It isn't. So I've got some week 8 stats. Oh Jesus, this is the part I should have looked at the stats.
Have we
In
basically
a little bit of a closer detail because number 1 and 2
Patriots defence
is a conversation about the Patriots.
Just skip them.
Provided today by Stats Mistress, who raped and pillaged Nate Davis of USA Today. Number 1. Congratulations to Bill Belichick, who won his 300th game, including playoffs. Belichick trails only Hall of Fame coaches Don Shula, 347 wins, and George Halas, 324 on the all-time list.
When I was watching the Monday Night Football game. I think it said something like that's Mike Tomlin's 200 and something game in charge of the Steelers. So Belichick's won 300 games, not just been in charge for 300 games. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it must be nearly 20 years of being the Pats coach by now, is it?
Well, he took over early was it 2000 maybe? Because he was the Jets coach, wasn't he, for about 6 minutes.
Yeah, and I thought, no, let me get out of here.
And then he basically went within the division.
Just created. It's great when you look at his previous kind of things. So obviously, he was like an assistant at the Giants.
Yeah, but he was the head coach at the Browns for a little.
Was it the Browns? They sacked him.
Great job. That was when they moved to Baltimore, wasn't it? So he was the last head coach of the Browns before they moved to Baltimore.
And then he was at the Jets briefly and left. To those two teams. Oh no!
And they've both been about the same.
They've done great. They're just better off without him, to be honest.
They're level pegging on the number of Super Bowl wins.
Number 2, the Patriots defense.
Oh, okay.
Enter the weekend with 18 interceptions, at least double any other teams.
18 interceptions. That's ridiculous.
But unfortunately, it's all downhill from there on this stat. However, New England only pilfered Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield once. Despite him entering Week 8 with a league-leading 11 interceptions, the Pats did, though, force a turnover on 3 consecutive snaps by the Cleveland offense.
I forgot.
The first time that had happened in an NFL game since 2012.
You should be loving that. You fucking hate Baker Mayfield.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Have you seen the picture of Baker Mayfield? So somebody's taken a picture of one of the Browns players handing a cleat to one of the Patriots players. It might have been
it's OBJ. OBJ showing him his personalised cleats because it just says OBJ.
It was made out of goat hair or something like
Right,
that to give
okay.
it to
Zooms in.
the goat.
Like it starts as a picture and then it zooms in on Baker Mayfield and he's just throwing these daggers and it's like, I don't know what's happening right now.
Well, I'm sure there was talk because the trade deadline was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was some talk of like, are the Browns tempted to try and trade Beckham?
Oh, he has
what?
been. If you read some of his quotes this week, he has been just. I mean, he might as well have gone on his knees and kissed Bill Belichick's feet, begging him for the trade. I want to play for the Pats.
He has not gone quietly into the night, let's put it that way. Since he went to the Browns, he's been the squeaky wheel. Yeah. In the Texans-Raiders game, Watson managed to evade a would-be sack, drifted to his right, and fired a game-winning touchdown pass to Darren Fells. Unfortunately, despite the win, J.J. Watt suffered a season-ending chest injury. Torn pec.
Is that a surprise, though?
He's already had the
So
surgery.
when was the last time he finished a season? Like 5 years ago?
It's sad because he's
really
awesome, but every year you're just waiting for that. Oh, yeah. J.J. Watt's out for the season. Oh, well, all right, okay, that's about right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a shame because he comes across as a really nice bloke as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really, it's a bit.
The amount of money that he's raised for the Houston area.
Yeah, after the hurricane and stuff like that.
Well, he started it, didn't he? He started the charity and the
I don't know if that was when he was on his. Was that when he was? That might have been when he was he had his full season out. I think he was out injured the full season.
I think that was when he was injured. I was like, I mean,
obviously. sorry, JJ.
Yeah, God, yeah. He's heard us. He's coming to kill us.
The Titans seem to have made the right move switching to Ryan Tannehill. I mean, those words. I feel like
he did kind of look uncomfortable.
You know when you do that thing where you put a shot of Bailey's in your mouth and you squirt lime into it. That's what my mouth feels.
Seriously, that is the most underwhelming quarterback change in history. Right, lads, we're gonna move away from Marcus Mariota. Thank the fucking Lord. In comes Ryan Tannehill. For fuck's sake, he is awful.
That's like that stock market crash thing where they were all jumping out the window and it's just like, oh, fuck this. Who won his second straight start since replacing Mariota, courtesy of 3-touchdown day against the Bucks. Tampa Bay quarterback Jameis Winston and Tennessee quarterback Marcus Mariota, the top 2 picks of the 2015 draft, both remain unsigned beyond this season.
Mariota, I was going to say, well, Mariota, he'll just get picked up as a backup somewhere, won't he?
They'll be playing football somewhere, either holding a clipboard or a black football if Vince brings that back.
I can't see anything here. I was going to bring it up with you. Did you see the choice for starting quarterback for the Bengals this week?
I did see it. Ryan Findlay, is that his name?
Well, it's not Andy Dalton.
Yeah, the Dalton scale is just going off the charts.
Yeah.
I'll text him.
Again, he's not. He's one of them guys where he's not a terrible quarterback, but he needs decent weapons around him, and the best weapon that they have has not played all year.
He's due back in the next couple of weeks. Maybe?
I thought
they've got the bye. They've got the bye this week because obviously they were the London game, weren't they?
Yes.
So they've got the bye this week.
And then I'll sit down in the living room.
Was that the London game, the Chargers and the Bengals, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Poor old Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
Ginger
we did an extensive.
We've had a bad year this year.
On Andy Dalton, didn't we? Number 5, 49ers DE Nick Bosa appears to now be the favourite for Defensive Rookie of the Year after piling up 3 sacks. He has 7 in 7 games and returning an interception of 46 yards in San Francisco's 51-13 pasting of the Panthers. The 49ers haven't scored 51 points, the bulk of Sunday coming running back Telvin Coleman's 4 touchdowns since 1993. 3.
At what point do we have to start taking them seriously?
The 49ers.
Now.
Do you reckon?
Now. I think now.
So, we had this conversation, the last podcast that we'd all done, where it was the 49ers are going to lose a game, but when? Because each week they go up against a team and you go,
So,
no,
have they played the
not
Rams
this
already,
week.
haven't they? Yeah, because they beat the Rams. Who else is in that division? Rams, the Cardinals,
Seahawks.
and them. I don't think they've played the Seahawks yet.
No, I think they've got the Cardinals this week, and then the Seahawks next week.
Right.
So that's the game.
So you'd imagine that the Seahawks will be their toughest test.
But I keep doing that. Oh, the Seahawks will be fine this week, and then they go and lose a game every now and then. And it's like, okay, fair enough.
Interesting note on that game. So on the Around the NFL podcast, they do this thing called Scoregami, which apparently like a website or something that like tracks all the scores that have ever happened in NFL history. And apparently that was the first time it had ever been a 51-14, I think it finished. First time that's ever happened in the game.
And the 14 is 51-13.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. I was just having a look because I remember having that conversation that Andy talked about, and I was like, "Yep, I'll pick the Panthers this week." Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that. We don't need to discuss that.
Yeah, I've already typed the scores up. I was sat on Sunday going, pretty sure Paul was like, "Yes, Bailey's definitely not winning this." There was a point where I nearly had to get the book out because I was like, "I'm sure that." Did I pick this game as the one game that I picked that they were going to win and they were... I might have to have a look, maybe in a minute. Number 6, quarterback Drew Brees.
This guy
Should not return this
Made
week.
his return following thumb surgery on Sunday. Against
There is
the Cardinals.
absolutely
I don't
no
think he had thumb surgery on the Sunday.
There's absolutely no
I'd have
way
made
Drew
you-
Brees plays in this game.
I'd have maybe written that a bit different.
Busy day for that lad, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Against the Cardinals,
You're in the
successfully passing for 373 yards and 3 touchdowns.
So it begs the question: bionic thumb.
Yeah, we just didn't even look like it was like affecting him at all.
We can rebuild him. We just don't want to spend too much money.
We just don't want to
Said
spend
the
money.
NFL never. Number 7. It was a rough Sunday for Panthers quarterback Kyle Allen, who served up the first 3 interceptions of his young career while losing for the first time as an NFL starter. Suddenly, the door seems open for the return of former league MVP Cam Newton.
You don't sound too happy about that, Andrew.
Well, he popped up again on social media in some horrendous suit and hat combo, and I'm like, the fuck are you doing
He does
on
love
my
a hat.
social media? And I was like,
Was it just after that game,
Christ,
by any
he's
chance?
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, his mysterious injuries disappeared, hasn't it? He was walking around fine. Didn't look at all that
dear.
into me.
Nothing has helped his recovery more than his opposing number absolutely shitting one. It's,
Well, this is what they said on the Around the NFL podcast. It was something along the lines of Kyle Allen's performance has made it almost inevitable that they'll bring Newton back. And they were saying there's a similar situation going on in Jacksonville where they probably shouldn't take out Minshew. There's no reason to take out Minshew unless he has a game like that where he just absolutely shits the bed. So
Personally,
it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
I'd be looking at the 4 games at the beginning of the season and I'd probably give it another week or so before making that decision.
I think it's the different contract situations, isn't it, though, with them? Because I'm not sure where Cam is. He must be coming towards the end of his contract.
I don't know, to be honest.
So they've got to make a decision there. But obviously the thing in Jacksonville is they gave Nick Foles that massive contract that
Yeah,
they're
but
tied to him for. And I think I can never understand the ins and outs of a NFL contract and how much they owe and how much goes against their cap, and it's all insane. But basically, they can't get rid of Foles because they're fucked.
You
And
say that, but if they were to put him on the trade block, there'd be plenty of teams who would be willing
there's
to trade for
something
him.
weird in it that they still have to pay him.
They'd have to eat the contracts and stuff like that, but they'd be able to get it down. They probably won't be able to trade away all of his contract, but they'd be able to get the majority of it off. Like you say, well, what the Eagles will probably shit themselves because, well, we're about, 3-4 weeks away from a Carson Wentz season-ending injury anyway.
I mean, like we said, your red-headed brethren are falling like flies at the moment.
Yeah, Dalton wasn't injured. He's just been shit.
He's just gone. But we're just left with Carson and Sam Darnold, who's back from his mono. So
he's
Well,
drop the kiss in his
look at that.
This guy's throwing out Minshew and you're throwing out Darnold. Let's talk about Darnold, quarterback for the Jets, threw 3 more picks and was sacked 8 times.
I did see that someone's defense had scored. Oh, that was against Jacksonville, wasn't it? Jacksonville.
Well, he was thoroughly shown up by rookie Minshew, who threw 3 touchdown passes against the Jets. The Jags rookie now boasts a 4-3 record. Darnold is 5-12 overall.
Oh dear.
The Jets aren't good.
The Jets are not.
I know it's that.
And Le'Veon Bell just has made absolutely no difference to that
there was
team
trade
whatsoever.
rumours as well about him being moved on.
Yeah, not good.
I mean, I think so much relies on again. It's one of those
To
things.
your O-line, isn't it, basically?
Your O-line. Yeah, if you've got a shit O-line, then your quarterback looks bad. Your running back looks bad.
Okay, so if Wilson now 81-38-1 as Seattle starter generates 6 more wins by the end of regular season, he'll break Brady's record for the most in a quarterback's first 8 years.
I hate stats like that, though. It's like, oh yes, he's won the most starters of any quarterback who was left-handed and tied his right shoe first. It's like, you can make any stat like that in his first 8 years.
There's a lot of those around nowadays as well.
The NFL loves a good.
Yeah.
It's not just the NFL. It's just
It's just
sport.
sport.
Well, yeah.
It's how do you fill an hour on Sky Sports or
those stats so fast.
Oh.
There was something on Sunday where they threw a stat out and it's like, you just had that one line around, did you? And it was like,
the best one I ever see was when it was the BBC was doing an FA Cup game or something like that, and it had the people, the experts in the studio, and it was Alan Shearer, 2-time finalist with Newcastle, blah blah blah. Then it was Roy Keane or whatever, 3-time winner.
Yeah.
It went to Gavin Peacock, 1-time semi-finalist with Chelsea. It was like, what the fucking hell is that? Jesus
and
Christ.
this, to finish on, is a corker. Look out for the possibility of Mahomes returning to play this week. Usually, when someone's knee slides out of place, they generally have to sit out a few weeks so it can heal. But apparently, Mahomes' knee isn't built like a normal human's knee, which is why there's a chance he might be able to play this week. The structure of Mahomes' knee and how naturally loose the ligaments means only one of those ligaments was compromised during the injury that he suffered against the Broncos.
Well, hang on a second. Why do you need Patrick Mahomes when you've got
That's why
this
this
guy
week
right
I
here?
lost my starting quarterback.
Just throwing the deep ball all the time and stuff like that. I mean, he's got a Travis Kelce jersey on, but
Yeah, but
He
as
barely
you
has
know,
the
you
Matt
can't see
Lloyd
that. You can't see that on camera. As soon as you mentioned knee ligaments, then I think I speak on behalf of every single person listening that just went, "What?"
Seriously, dislocating a bone is bad enough, but dislocating your kneecap or whatever it was they did.
It's just such a
Been there.
so much stuff down there that gets
So that's it, your knee as well.
Been there,
The
done that.
one part of your body you pretty much don't want to fuck up is your knee. Jesus Christ.
Anybody got anything else from week 8?
Stats wise, not really.
The Aaron Rodgers pass to Aaron Jones, was it?
As he was about to get sacked.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was just insane.
only Aaron Rodgers can throw that throw. It was just like,
It was
did
mental.
that just happen? Oh.
Well, he is what he is, isn't he? He's on his day. He's arguably the best quarterback in the league, isn't he? So.
Is that Mahomes is great, but I think people are kind of overblowing how great he is because a lot of the stuff that he does,
passes in it. It's all like
a lot of the
flashy
stuff that he
isn't it?
does is Aaron Rodgers has been doing it
Yeah.
for however long, just
Past
in
10
not
years.
quite as
10
flashy
years.
kind of
Yeah.
flashy kind of way. It was just insane. You just thought, oh, it's going to get sacked. It's going to get sacked. It's going to get sacked. throwing a touchdown.
Turned a sack into a touchdown like that.
It was, and what, it was going to be like a 10-yard loss as well.
And it was a top corner as well.
It was just
it was
insane.
like, whew, that's so
to his running back as well, which is probably like, who's probably 5 foot and a fag end, you know, which is just like, you're not throwing it to a 6'4" wide receiver that's going up there and
for our American
fetching
fans, a fag end is the end of a cigarette, not a homosexual.
Was it the Browns game that had the player taking the own player out?
Surprised me if it
No,
is.
I don't know what game it was, but there was a game where Nick Chubb had the carry and the O-line guy kicked the ball out of his hand.
There was something where
he was fumbling all over the place this weekend.
Almost as good as the butt fumble.
They hiked up the ball.
The butt fumble is great.
One guy drops back as one guy's running across them. They just collide it. And it was like, what the hell just happened there?
There's always little stuff like that. It's when you get the guy doing the sort of the jet sweep.
Yeah, that's always.
And then it's like the guy who's crossing just as they're about to snap the ball. It's like, one day that is going to go so bad. It's just going to hit the guy straight in the chest. And it's going to be like, so that's going to get picked up and returned for a touchdown. But yeah.
Let's talk a little bit fancy.
Ah, yes.
A little bit fancy. It's one of those. It's a tough week because no matter how big or small your league is, the unfortunate nature of being in a fantasy league, in the NFL league and all that, is that most of the time, half the people win, half the people lose. So, unfortunately, in this scenario, I believe half the people in the room had wins this week, half the people in the room did not. Was anybody else the same as me, that they were looking at their own game going, I might be alright with this, and then jumping immediately to Paul's game and going, come on, whoever you're playing against, come on, and then jumping to Toots' team going, come on, whoever Toots is playing against, come on, because, yeah. So, I hate to say it, but Matt, did you have a win this week?
You know that I didn't have a win this week.
You fucking bastard.
It's just the way
absolute shit.
I could have gone with
quote to my wife on Sunday. I'm never going on that fucking podcast again because whenever I say come on, I lose to what I used to on the week before.
Yeah, but you've had
she's like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, but it does though, doesn't it?
You've had the added sweetener of the drive down in person this week as well.
and the possible risky drive back.
Stu, did you have one this week?
I don't know if it technically counts as a loss when the team is unmanned that you play. I have to say that with the performance last week, as we all talked about, when my team was terrible against Paul,
Hello.
I was a little more optimistic. A little more optimistic this week, considering that there was a quarterback on the bar,
quarterback was on a bar,
and a running back on injured reserve. I'm thinking, right, here we go.
No one in our league should be more disappointed than Rob Rafton this week. Second highest point scorer.
Yeah.
Still got beat.
Oh no!
It happens every season. Yeah. I think in my other league, I think I might have grazed the 150 mark this week. Some weeks you just have monster scores. And yeah, there's every season there's somebody who goes, oh man, I had the second highest point in the week this week and lost. How cool is that?
Absolutely
because I was playing the person that had the highest.
You can guarantee you're sitting there and you're like, if you're watching the red zone, you're like, oh yeah, he's mine and he's mine. Oh, this week I'm absolutely smashing it. And then you turn around and you're like, oh. Of course they did.
I did notice, looking through everyone's scores, that it came to the last thing on Sunday, and there was a lot of people thinking, "Come on, Steelers," because everybody. I don't think one team in our league had anybody opposing the Steelers. I picked up their backup kicker because Tucker was on a bye last week. I noticed, I think it was Leanne waiting on a Pittsburgh result. Did you have the Smith-Schuster?
I had Juju Smith-Schuster.
So Leanne had James Conner.
Ooh, big week for him.
Yeah, before getting injured. I had James Conner in the other league. I was like, okay, come on, James Conner. There was a load of like, let's go Steelers.
I quite rightly picked up Mason Rudolph, thinking, well, he's playing against the Dolphins. That's a gimme.
Yeah.
He started the first quarter with an interception, so he was on -2 for the first full quarter of the game.
That was my entire... when I was looking for that backup kicker, that was my entire reason. And the first train of thought was, right, who are the Dolphins playing this week? And just look for who it was.
I swear to God.
If you're looking for a D, if you're looking
exactly,
for a kicker.
Right? That's basically what it boils down to. Whoever you're playing against, if you're streaming a defence, just immediately just work out in 2 or 3 weeks' time who's playing the Dolphins and just try and get that defence nice and early. Even if that defence is the Cincinnati Bengals or something like that.
Mr. Williams, did you have one this week?
I did, but I only just scraped it. So again, as previously discussed, I was relying on Mason Rudolph getting me at least 12 points, and he managed to get 16. So thank you very much, Mason. Nice to see that your head is still attached to your shoulders after that fucking hit you took a couple of weeks.
Oh God, yeah, that was horrible.
That was
bad.
Unfortunately for Matt, I also had a win this week. It's
humble brag.
That Mike Evans, 31 points. I was like, well, I'm not going to win this week, am I?
I have Mike Evans in both leagues. In one of those leagues, I was like, just leave him on the bench this week.
Oh no!
and then I'm looking at it going, why have I got Mike Evans on the bench? What's going on there? So that points are just like.
So that would be the 4th ranked wide receiver in the game, Mike Evans. I see.
It's one of those ones though, because you think Mike Evans, but his quarterback's Jameis Winston.
This is the problem.
Mike Evans is awesome, but his quarterback's Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's really shit. Oh man, what do I do? And then you think, oh, maybe the team that he's playing, they've got a good defense, so then it's going to make it even worse. Yeah, okay, I'll leave him on the bench. No, that was silly.
What a foolish thing.
The scores this week have made an ever so slight change at the top. Yeah, there is now a clear first and second. Unfortunately for the rest of the league, it's this guy followed by this guy.
Listen, just like you said, if I win it this season, the trophy
will
be promised for so many years.
It'll be his face cast in bronze. It'll just be.
I know it's like the wrong spot, but you're talking like Stanley Cup proportions, aren't you? Yeah. It's going to be like it won't fit through the door.
Yeah. We'll be doing the
and Toots will never take part in the league again.
If he finishes bottom, I honestly think he might leave the country.
But that worked for him because he left the country and then he started winning.
Matt Moore is joint 3rd and Stuart Woodmansey is 5th. So this room is full of winners.
Colin is dangerous.
Colin is freaking dangerous.
Just in life, or he said that as if that's a warning. Next time you're in York,
just look out for Colin.
Some of us have to play again this season as well.
He went to the playoffs, didn't he?
I think
it was him versus 2.
I don't know for definite, but I think he might have been in the playoffs every season we've played this.
It's like the to win.
I don't think he's ever
all in the playoffs.
As I say, you could look at the top of the table all you want, and that brings with it its own joy, its own sadness. But we can all take something.
Oh God!
From dead bottom of the table. Can't we too?
I'll tell you something.
I'm not going to say anything because it's level with.
To say that at the start of the season when they did this projections based on how you drafted us, you were projected.
I was dead last. I was furious because me and James drafted together, and he had it up on the screen, and it. I'm sure it had James predicted as being like one of the top.
11th?
What at the start of the season?
It started off with projected.
Maybe this was 11th. On the fantasy. What's the other one? The big website there. Fantasy Pros.
Oh, okay.
It had him a bit higher up, and I was like, "What? Why am I predicted down there?" I've done loads of research. I've kind of drafted the players. Weirdly, that I wanted to draft, apart from Leanne picked up Nick Chubb and because she had the last pick of the first round, and on the turn she picked up the 2 players that.
She got the
damn it! I was sat there like, why did I pick DeAndre Hopkins? I wanted Nick Chubb, and I was like, but then I got cocky thinking that I'd be able to pick him up later on. No, Leanne picked, and I was like, that's a really good draft. Dead last, but you know what?
think I've dropped out of the predictions for the top four for the first time.
So, as it stands, the final four is predicted to be me, you second.
No,
You got
Truth Hurts
Christian.
projected to finish second.
not in the playoffs thing that I looked at
telling
earlier
you,
today.
final standing projection. Truth Hurts, number 2. The Cookie, number 3. And the Squirrel Killers,
No, you're not
number
there.
4.
I still don't get that. Every time I look,
No,
he's
that's,
up there.
that's
I'm
the
like,
bracket.
as we currently
I'm like,
stand, that's
how?
where we'd...
I mean, obviously he's been winning games silently in the background.
Tim?
But
Tim-
he does love a win, that kid.
Tim's got he's got the He's got Deshaun Watson as his quarterback. He's got Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry as his 2 of his running backs. So he's got points in his team.
Mm.
He's got Julian Edelman on his bench.
Please don't big him up too much because that's my game this week.
Well, I'm playing the unmanned team this week. So if I don't win, I will be fucking pissed off.
I am
I'm
losing
hoping-
this week.
I'm hoping you're playing 2s, aren't you?
No.
Liam?
I'm playing Leon this week.
Who's the most dangerous person?
Oh, Cole. Oh dear.
I'm playing Cole this week, so that's a loss in my column, I'm afraid.
He's just on me. Cole's got Drew Brees and Mahomes.
Is he...
You've done pretty well there.
Did you
That's
hear
a
that
good win,
moment
that.
of silence where everybody died?
Like Sally going, how
Everyone's
did
like-
I manage to pull that one off?
Yeah.
You were talking before about them weeks where you have like a high score and then just lose. I played Cole first week, and I was thinking my first week in fantasy, 117 points, that'll do. Yeah, Cole got 121, so that is the exact type of
And
team.
that,
he has.
Yeah.
and 30 of those points will have been Mahomes that first
Yeah.
week.
Did
because
he throw
absolutely
6? Was it
insane.
5 or
Yeah,
6?
yeah.
Smart, he threw in his first week.
all you heard in that game was Mahomes, Watkins. It was like...
Yeah, but Watkins has dropped right off, which isn't a massive shock because he's not a very
But
good
obviously,
receiver.
what's the other one?
Tyreek Hill?
Yeah,
He's
he
come
went
back
he's
in.
back in. But
Travis Kelce will always get receptions.
bit
as well, I
lukewarm
suppose.
since he's come back. A lot of players keep coming back really quiet.
But they're stacked with the wide
Exactly.
receivers, aren't they?
It's just a shame their
We
defense
talked
is
about
not
that.
very good.
2 weeks ago, I was ready to trade Barkley. I was like, because he's getting points, but he's not getting first round draft pick points. He's
Not
getting
just first round, first overall. He was going.
I think sometimes you
It's
just
just
need that
like-
player that's you just want. If you're getting 10, 12, 15 points every week, that's just
I'd much
you
rather.
know that you're getting that.
I'd
and then
much
you
rather have that than a guy who has like 2,
yeah,
3, 2, 4, 50 or something like
that's that. Yeah, it's a great pickup, man.
that. In fact, do you know what? I'm amazed you're here. I'm amazed you're allowed in my house.
Yeah, made me drive all the way down and go. No,
Fuck you.
go away.
Conditions of entry, trading him back.
It's a cruel ploy, which reminds me, I'll show you all a video in the break about cruel ploys.
The break.
Speaking of predictions and things,
Predictions.
do you remember last week where we reeled you in last week with
You
Paul?
son of a
you
bitch.
did real well.
You got 12
double
out of
figures.
15 or something like that.
You
Oh,
got
yeah.
10 out of a possible 14 or something. I'm like, there you go. You came last.
Unbelievable.
And the guest, which was Leanne, got 11. And this guy, 12 out of 14.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So, if I told you
God, for fuck's sake.
that this week, well, last week's predictions, the lowest score was double figures.
I'm sick of this.
So, out of, I believe,
There was only 4 teams on bye. 2 teams on bye. Yeah, because it was the Cowboys and the Ravens that won bye this week.
Let's not forget. It's
Just get on with it.
It's 15 possible predictions.
Just tell the people.
15 possible predictions. So to get 10 is still good.
He's still going. Good God, man.
So I got
But
10.
to put that another way, that's a 66% success rate.
Shut up.
10's still good.
It's only because he well knows, doesn't it? So 10's still a good score. It's 2/3.
I'll give you a little pat on the back.
And
Aaron.
somebody has to.
What did Paul get?
12.
Paul predicted 11.
Oh, but what do you forget?
So I think we've had a bit of a
Oh, hang on a second. This can't be right because we only picked one game different.
yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So the winner of week 8's predictions is apparently
I don't believe it.
The guest.
So it was the one. It was the one game that we picked different that mattered.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch!
Do you remember early on where I was like, right, boys, this is where things are going to change because I'm going to go with that other team.
Which was that one game? Was
So
it Titans Bucks?
Early on.
Oh, I don't believe it. That was the one that I did the coin flip on, wasn't it?
So early
Son
on,
of a bitch!
if anybody,
Did you not notice me slipping that two-headed coin just as you did that as well?
if anybody wants to cast their mind back, third game of the week, I'm like, you boys are crazy. The Bills ain't winning that. I'm going Eagles. So when I'm doing the scores, chalk up an extra point in that in my column. Lovely stuff. Then we get down to, you guys are crazy. I'm going for the Jets.
Oh, my God.
Was there a small point before last week's podcast where you just like went and sniffed some glue or something?
But then, these boys, Panthers all the way.
Panthers.
Yeah,
It's not 49ers week this week.
Oh.
Fucking well it is. Quickly followed by, I think the Broncos have got this one.
Oh, dear.
All
Oh.
over the map.
In Joe Flacco we trust.
Well, in Broncos-related news, Joe Flacco out for the next 4 or 5 weeks,
Is he?
apparently.
Yeah, Paul's just had a small trip over to Denver. That's the...
Why do you reckon I'm about to cross my leg? I'm currently aroused. Joe Flacco's
And I can confirm it was the coin flip
Oh,
game
fuck's
that lost you the point. Hopefully this week's games are actually in the correct time order because I took them from the same place. I actually saw one of those flex things come up.
Yeah.
They actually listed this game has been flexed.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. I don't know if that means it's been moved into the late Sunday night football slot or if it's just the 9 o'clock, as it will be,
Don't know.
slot.
There
was one way.
I can't remember which game it is either. I just saw and I made a mental note, but not enough of a mental note.
Excellent.
As the people at home know, the way we work our predictions each week is myself.
Do you do Pick'em as well, then?
Yes.
Am I the only one
I'm
who
currently
doesn't do
second
Pick'em?
in the league.
You know that right at the beginning when
Yeah,
Leanne
I'm
went
aware.
to sort that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And you didn't, so she did. And now he's second and I'm
I
third.
wasn't supposed to sort it out.
No, as in Leanne sent the invite out.
Yeah.
To everybody. She was very kind to set it
She
up.
was.
And Paul's just thrown that back in her face.
Sorry, Leanne.
There's your stats and there's your pick 'em. The way we work it is that myself and my glamorous co-host, each week we go up against the guest. Obviously,
We haven't won
the
a
guest,
single week.
the guest took a lovely point last week, so well done to the guest. This week, it's a joint guest, separate predictions kind of situation. So the guest is essentially getting 2 picks on this one.
I don't
We
know how
need
that's
to be
going to
on point.
work.
We had this discussion last time I was on.
Yeah, because it was
You're
literally
going to
the
just
first
pick the worst
week,
one.
wasn't it? The first
Essentially, it's your podcast. You pick the rules.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
week 5 was the exact same scenario, and week 5 the guest, the joint guest, won. So they've both got 9 points. So
We'll just
Well,
pick the
all
same
I don't know
ones all
what's
the way
worse
through.
there. It's kind of sad. To yes, we won with 9 points.
we all get a pick. We all get to choose which game, which team of which game we think is going to have a win. At the end of the games, all the points get tied up, and whoever gets the highest, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm teaching my grind to suck eggs here, gets the win for the week. So obviously the guest is doubling down this week, which is fine by us. So what I have, I'm taking what I took off Pick'em, as I'm sure Stu will vouch.
Mhm.
If there are different times, there are different times. Who knows? First game I've got here is the 49ers versus the Cardinals.
Is it in Arizona?
The University of Phoenix Stadium. Yes.
I reckon.
No.
I know, but.
So while you debate, I'm just going to, in my column, put 4, 9,
E-R-S. I'm assuming you're going to be repeating that for these two as well.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know, last week when I was like, "Yeah, this is the week they're losing," and then got screwed up. I'm going to put this out there now. I'm still saying the 49ers,
a
but you
big
watch the
situation.
Cardinals
There's
win.
no way the Arizona.
I've
So-
listened to some podcasts and people have been saying, maybe the 49ers are looking towards the Seahawks next week. I just think, no, I can't get inside the mentality of a professional sports person, but you would have thought, put these away, because then you'll be 8-0.
8-0.
you're in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, don't worry about the Seahawks until next
Cross that
week.
bridge when you come to it. Let's just get through the next game.
Well, every team's aim for the first, I say for the first 8 games should be stay above 500. Win 4, try and win the next 4. But, yeah, so if the 49ers can get a win in the next game, they're going to finish the season at least 500.
Yeah.
So that's a win for them, basically, because no one tipped them to do anything this season. And Nick Bosa looks like a fucking stud.
So I'd listened to one thing where someone said he managed to skid on his belly in Washington further than the Washington offense had gone.
It was like,
the guy is an absolute beast.
Oh, amazing.
right, let's talk Texans, Jaguars.
You did put me down for the 49ers, yeah.
If you like.
Thank fuck for that.
So, I went first last
This is the
time.
London game.
This is the London game.
Jags
it is.
Texans. That do you know what? That could be a good game actually, because the Jags haven't been terrible.
I've just had a thought about the picking. I should pick the opposite to you, and then we're sort of covered on both pitches.
You son of a bitch!
on the ones where we're not sure. So don't pick the cards where.
No.
I just feel like it's just
There's actual
But yeah.
Paul Williams.
Bit of a dilemma for me because I've got Minshew in the league. Texans just to shade it. I reckon it'll be closer than people think.
Stuart Woodmansey.
On the basis that I think are they now the team that have played over here the most?
The Jags, pretty
Yeah,
much. I think every year.
yeah. I'm gonna go a bit off the kill, and I'm gonna go
Jags?
Jags. Yeah.
Interesting.
Matthew
Sure.
Moore.
I'm just in tactics. I'm going to pick the Texans, but I think it'll be a lot closer than people think because that Jags D seems to have taken a step up, and Houston haven't looked great the past few weeks.
And they've lost
Having with JJ going.
And I've got DeAndre Hopkins, and trust me, I'm fully aware of the fact that their offense is not humming at the moment.
So,
And I think it could be. People are saying Texans. I would say I'm going to say Texans, but
for a 50-50 split, I've gone with the Jaguars just to make things interesting. Speaking of interesting, oh wait, no. The Redskins versus the Bills.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Currently,
Bills.
and agreeing with 99% of people currently playing picks.
why is that not 100?
So that's the one Russian Redskin fan who's like, well, they've got to
God
be
damn
this guy.
it! One of these days they're going to get him. No.
Is anybody
God.
going with the Redskins? Is probably the easiest question there because I've gone Bills.
Hell.
Bills across the board. So that brings us to the Titans Panthers game.
Oh, God.
It's real.
Jesus.
Please.
Why is the NFL filled with games that no one gives a flying fuck about? Jesus Christ!
Nobody is going to watch this unless... and even there's going to be Panthers and Titans fans that are not going to be like, oh man,
Well,
I
you're
really
on
should
Sunday.
watch it, but
You're not watching the game?
God.
I was listening to something and someone was like, oh, take your family out. Just this is
do
a week
anything.
where,
Anything else?
Take some bowling.
This is why
Take them to
when
the cinema.
like British fans of American sport go, so why do you do tailgating? This is why.
yeah.
We drink to get
by
through
the
the
time
game.
blind drunk, so I don't have to see it.
It's time to get the car now.
Is it in Carolina?
It is.
It is.
Panthers?
Me too.
I've gone Panthers as well.
Ooh.
God, this could be the sort of game where like Ryan Tannehill is like, yeah,
No,
I've got a couple of wins behind me. 5 interception game.
it's that kind of Fitzmagic kind of game where you're like, oh yeah, Ryan Fitzmagic, oh yes, oh yeah, no, there you go.
Oh, that's why he's played for 8 different teams. Ah.
I think I was getting mocked there. I was like that whole season last season. I had him in my team and everything.
Because the first 2 weeks of the season, he was absolutely fucking stellar. because Winston was suspended, wasn't he? So
Yes.
Fitzpatrick had to play the first couple of
we
games.
all remember the press conference.
Oh,
Here
but
we
it
go.
all-
That was brilliant.
Was he wearing Deshaun Jackson's clothes? Absolutely
On my
fucking random.
timeline.
Which is, how did it even fit him?
I've
Because
seen-
he's a
He's a
big
big
guy,
boy.
and
So
Deshaun Jackson is not.
He came out with Deshaun Jackson's clothes on, and he basically had like an open V,
So
of like down to like his
that was
navel.
up to here, and an actual
Sunglasses as well. It was,
And obviously, you've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Beard bigger than that,
Yeah.
basically. So he was just doing the press conference, stood at the thing.
Is he like some sort of like time warp back to like doing a 70s press conference? Where
Oh, it was just...
did he have flares on to complete
No,
the
I think it was just that he
medallion
just
and
found
open
Deshaun
ship?
Jackson's clothes and was just like, yes, please. Just put them on.
The Vikings versus the Chiefs.
Would be a more interesting game if Mahomes was playing.
It would
Potentially, if he is playing, it makes things a lot different. Is it in Kansas City?
it's in
Theoretically,
Kansas
yes.
City, yeah.
The Vikings aren't very good away from home. Chiefs.
This is coin flip time as well, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
but for very different reasons.
I am agreeing with you on this one, but I feel uneasy saying it. This could be one of those where the Vikings is just like, yeah, it's the week to do something.
Since he publicly apologised to Stephon Diggs and Thielen, Kirk Cousins looked pretty good.
Yeah. Is there another Diggs? Did I see it the weekend?
Well, there probably is, but I can't think of his name off the top of it.
I'm sure they were flat, like showing like a Diggs walking out that wasn't Stephon Diggs. I think it was another Diggs in another team.
Not sure.
Stu.
I have gone for the Chiefs this time around, especially if
To cover the bases.
Vikings.
Are you actually going Vikings?
I on the pick'em, I've picked the Chiefs, but I'm going to
Oh,
say
right.
Vikings for tactical reasons. For the it's a very, very uneasy Chiefs though on the pick'ems. Their defense stinks.
It's so bad, isn't it?
So
It's
bad,
ridiculous.
and they're just lucky that they can score. You know, it's that kind of like we're just going to score more than you. And the Vikings, you know, obviously their coach is a defensive guru kind of, and they could do some shifty things. And if it is Mahomes back, and you know he is slightly kind of, you
It's one
know,
of them-
legs is not quite kind of thing. He was struggling before that. They could get after him, and then you're looking at, you know, a bad day, and yeah.
Was it about this time last season that it was the Chiefs versus the Rams game that was like 53-51?
It was a
Was
little
it
bit later on in the
season?
year, wasn't it?
closer
I'm-
to Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing where, like, if Mahomes plays, you could have another sort of like game like that on your hands, really, because the Chiefs can't stop teams scoring touchdowns, and if like Dalvin Cook could just run all over them.
Yeah,
The Mahomes
and
thing
that's
did sway me back towards the Chiefs, but like defensive wise, like you say, it essentially could be one big hit and game over.
Yeah.
And it's
we just look at how the Pats destroyed the Chiefs in the playoffs, and it was just they ran them to death, you know. And that's where, and like I said, the Vikings have got Dalvin Cook, and then their rookie as well is really good. Is it Singletary or
No, he's the Bills. I can't think of what his name is, but I know who you're talking.
just before we get to the announcement of the next game, I'm looking forward to the huge build up that Andy's going to give this.
Right, so this has got to be the Dolphins versus somebody. Or Patriots. Or
So fresh from Lookout Peak.
oh, Jesus Christ. Is it Jets Fins? Fuck.
Jets versus the Dolphins.
Jesus
in the Hard Rock
Christ.
Stadium? Oh dear God!
Another one of those where am I just writing the Jets down all the time?
Fucking hell.
Stop
Do you know-
me! Stop me if I'm not.
It's
you know what?
surprisingly, yeah.
This could be the streak ender.
This could be the one where the Jets just go and lay a huge fucking egg.
I honestly think the Dolphins are going all out this season for the 0-16.
Well, what was it
I think they're
against? Was
going
it
out
against
that way.
the Skins when they scored
Early touchdown. And it
the
was
late
like,
touchdown, and it was like, oh, they could go for the 1 point to get
Oh,
the
yeah,
draw,
yeah.
or the 2 points for the win. And I'm like, they're going to go for the 2 points. Oh, and I'll bet my house on the fact the 2-point conversion play is dog shit, and they still lose because they want to lose. You know, and the guy, bless him, he gets really enthusiastic on the red zone. Oh, the Dolphins are going to go for the 2-point conversion. I'm like, settle down, pal. It's not going to work. You know, it's almost as kind of guaranteed as the Bears kicker's going to miss that kick to win the game. I was just like,
that's what they were saying on. That's what they were saying on Monday. So obviously it was the Steelers versus the Finns, and obviously earlier in the season the Steelers traded for Minka Fitzpatrick, and that was one of the first round picks that the Dolphins got. So the Dolphins were probably like, yeah, if we lose, it's not the end of the world, but if we win, we're making their record even worse. We're going to get a higher draft pick. So it was like, yeah, let's put a bit of effort into it, boys. So bizarre.
Bears, Eagles.
Did we all just go Jets?
I just put Jets down for everyone.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
They should win, but
Come on, then.
surprised.
You put the Dolphins down.
Do it.
Put it where your mouth this time.
Bears versus the Eagles.
Eagles. Bears have looked terrible.
I have also gone Eagles because I agree the Bears look freaking shocking.
I don't think something's not right in that.
I've gone Eagles as well.
Just to add into that, I've finally decided to bench Ertz this week, so of course the Eagles.
Who's you? I was going to say, who's your backup tight end?
I'll set him up, Paul.
I think we all know. Matt's favourite.
Matt, did you go Eagles as well?
I went Eagles as well. There's something really wrong with the Bears.
Because
the defence looks lacklustre. And
Yeah.
It was the whole Trubisky thing. Like, Trubisky went out and everyone was like, well, it didn't look great to start with. And then it was this big thing that he came back, and I think everyone sort of forgot that they didn't look great before he went out.
Problem with that is that
The best thing that you should always remember is about the fact that the Chicago Bears traded up to draft him and also left Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson and also possibly Lamar Jackson
No, he
on the
only
board.
went in the draft that was last season.
Was it the one? Oh, was it the thing?
This was
I mean,
2 years ago's draft.
right.
I don't
But
think that
seriously, Mahomes and Watson, you're just like, well done, guys.
absolutely
You
mental.
did not draft a
That would
franchise
be the
quarterback.
that would be the same draft where I think. Oh no, it wasn't. I was going to say Josh Rosen was in that one, but he wasn't. That was last year's draft.
The Bears thing's been more noticeable for me after the London games because I definitely thought they would absolutely hammer the Raiders, and then they lost, didn't they?
They're sneaky good.
Yeah.
Welcome to them.
Colts versus the Steelers.
Ooh, Colts.
Colts as well.
Oh, I'm sitting here like, I'm going to really surprise people by going with the Colts.
77%.
They just keep on pulling wins out their ass as well. Yeah.
Steelers. I think that at this point the Steelers will put. I was going to say, well, they probably just don't really care because they'll get a decent draft pick.
No, they're
Go straight to the Finns. So, yeah.
Matt, did you have Colts?
Yes.
Okay, Lions, Raiders.
Ooh,
This is
In
currently
Oakland,
50-50.
doesn't surprise me that.
Bang
Does
on.
not surprise me.
50-50.
I'll go Raiders.
Interesting. I went with the Lions, but it's another one where I was like, the Lions, maybe.
I just don't trust Matt Stafford.
He's having a good season, to be fair.
But there's guaranteed to be like at least one turnover a game. I've gone Raiders. I think they're sneaky good.
They're a lot better than they probably should be. And Josh Jacobs looks like he's a pretty good running back.
Stu?
Well, Matt's gone Raiders, so I'm going Lions.
I see. You're a pair of shit.
The Bucks versus the Seahawks.
Yes, please.
No surprises, I've gone Seahawks.
Yes.
You're obviously forgetting that Jameis Winston. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Seahawks.
I should be like, I'm kind of Mike Evans. Mike Evans.
Oh, I'm still hoping Mike Evans has a good game.
Oh, God.
The Browns versus the Broncos, Paul.
Absolutely the Browns. Although the fact that Joe Flacco's not playing is a big plus point in this one. So
I've also gone with the Browns.
I've gone with the Browns too.
are you picking the Broncos?
I'm going with the Broncos.
You
yeah.
absolute mentalist.
Ooh.
The Browns aren't exactly been setting the world on fire, have they?
But the Broncos
Yeah.
are fucking dog shit.
Yes, and I wouldn't disagree with that, but it's in Denver. They can grind out one for me. Just clip that bit up for next week when they win, by the way.
There is absolutely no way. You know, you said that you were always going to threaten to get T-shirts printed.
That's
That is
there we go,
absolutely
yeah.
the T-shirt. There is absolutely no way. Space.
I was going to say, is winning this.
You should have to give me the T-shirt, but it's got Velcro.
Velcro panels on.
Is he there?
Packers Chargers.
Ooh. Oh no, not who.
No.
Packers.
Because initially you're like, oh, and then you remember one of the
You
teams.
think Chargers,
Packers.
Philip Rivers.
If you'd have asked that last season, that might have been different.
Yeah. So I think that's the weird thing. The fact that obviously the Chargers last season had the joint best record in the NFL with the Chiefs, and then just shat the bed in the playoffs against the Patriots. But this season they're just not even
Packers.
not even the same. It's completely
It's
different.
weird.
outfit.
Matt.
Packers for me.
Okay, that brings us to.
SNF
I mean, this has got to be game of the week.
must be Pats Ravens.
Yeah.
So the logical thing to do is pick the Pats.
But
Ravens for me, please.
Ooh.
This is their first big test.
and you were expecting him to fail.
Yeah. I not only do I think they're going to fail, I think this could be the week that their defense gets fucking blown to pieces.
I've gone with
Lamar Jackson, if he has one of his games, so bear in mind he's been rested for 2 weeks. I reckon we could be seeing a big day for Lamar Jackson on the floor and in the air.
I've gone with the Patriots, and I don't share your faith in the Ravens in this game. I think the
Lamar Jackson's
Patriots
special.
are going to do
Not in that
what
way.
the Patriots do, and I think it's going to be a massive score difference.
I think, and that's the thing, is everything that you've said is probably what everybody else has been saying. Everything that you listen to, everything that you read. Oh, this could be the real test for the Pats. And you know that Belichick's reading that, going, all right then.
Yeah.
And he kills quarterbacks for
they've
fun.
got a week of listening to that going, yeah, but do you see these players that we're going to play? And yeah, that's how we're going to destroy this team that you reckon is going to be...
May I just point out at this point, last season, the Pats got beat by the Titans.
On what you just said though, like that you saying about you spent time with Fergie back in the day as well. That's the same thing they must have had at that time. The United team they had then. It's like, right, don't need to do any work this week because we'll just let the press do it all for us.
Well, do you remember?
Just read the papers this week, boys.
That season they won the treble, apparently, and the last game of the season where they needed to beat Spurs to win the league. Apparently, he went into the dressing room about like half an hour before the game. Was like, lads, it's Tottenham. And apparently they just left it at that. It was like, I don't need to say anymore.
I think it's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be a proper game. It's one of those ones.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where home field advantage will make a huge difference. The Ravens fans will make that as uncomfortable as possible for Brady.
But it's an AFC rival. They're probably going to...
They don't do well against the Ravens either. The Ravens have had their number in the last 25 years. Well,
it's where... It's
just having more lines for this t-shirt.
This clip show is going to be amazing.
I think, I'm still going to go Pats, but I think it's going to be like a proper...
Could be a field goal.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight.
Watch the Pats smash them all 35. Oh God!
I'm not playing the for stats this time.
Ravens as well.
No. I'm going Pats, but I share more.
What's the pick'ems at the minute?
Do you want to hazard a guess?
I'll go 65-35 Pats.
87 to the Pats.
It's currently 79-21, so I'm with you. I think that they'll just think, right, this is the one that everyone expects us to do badly. Yeah. This you go, boys.
This is the start of their tough run, because I think they've got these, then the Eagles and the Cowboys after that.
Well, speaking of Cowboys, they're playing the Giants this week.
Cowboys.
Monday Night Football, Cowboys at the Giants. Oh God. Tell you something, there's been 2 stinkers on Monday Night Football the past couple of weeks.
What was it like?
Steelers.
It's been a run of it, wasn't it?
At Steelers.
Was the week before that Jets and Pats?
No, I don't think that was Monday. Was that Monday night? Oh, I can't remember.
There was a stinker as well. It's been like 3 weeks on the
Oh.
bounce.
I've put the Cowboys down.
Yeah.
Isn't often something I do,
no.
Cowboys for me.
but in this game it is.
They've had a week off. How about them Cowboys?
Daniel Jones is trending towards where everybody thought he was going to be.
No.
Is he going to trend so far
Cowboys.
towards it's a case of... Should we
No,
give
they're not
Eli a
bringing
couple
Eli
more
back.
starts?
No.
That brings us to the end of our predictions for Week 9 of the 2019 NFL season. And unless anybody's got any other business...
I have nothing.
I have one thing, but it is NFL related, but it's just something that popped up this week. Has anybody watched the Living With Yourself series on Netflix with Paul Rudd in it?
Yes.
So, that now explains why Tom Brady is still at the level that he's at after all this time.
And he's a bellend. So obviously, did you get the in-joke?
Yes.
So in an episode of this thing called Living With Yourself, Paul Rudd goes to this place that he goes to. I won't give away what it happens, but he sees Tom Brady leaving the place and just goes, first time? And he goes, yeah, how about you? And he just goes, 6.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you. I mean, the only thing that could have made it even more Tom Brady is if he did that and had the rings on his fucking thing. It's like, fucking bastard.
I'll quickly try and find it, because it's been in the last couple of weeks. I was watching Series 3 of Preacher, and, like, you know, sometimes when you're, like, watching, like, when you're binging stuff, you don't see the episode titles, but if you, like, go away and come back to watch another episode, you'll see the title randomly. So I started, like, sending loads of people a picture, because I'd had to go on to IMDb to try and find if what I saw was correct, and I won't be able to find it before I have to... No, it's there.
The Tom/Brady.
So there was an episode of Series 3 of Preacher, which was called The Tom/Brady. And they were working on the principle that they need equal parts good and equal parts evil. So they'd used, it's like Thomas Jefferson and something with, like, Marsha Brady, there's something, and they created this thing, and on the label it was Tom Brady. And they just kept, like, showing it, and I'm like, This was the same series that had a point where the Nazis turned up, like modern day Nazis. So it was all guys in, like, the full Nazi uniform. The last guy in the row had a "Make America Great Again." It was like,
oh, Donald won't be happy about
shots fired. Right, gentlemen.
Yes, thank
thank
you
you to Stu for making the trip. Thank you to Matt for making the
problem.
trip. Paul.
Glad to be here.
I'll always be here, apart from that week that I wasn't here.
Really found it in that week, didn't you?
I really did.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much,
Thank
guys.
you.
Ooh, what?
More tea, Vicar.
Shout louder, sir. We'll
You get
find
to hear
you.
more
More
noises from
choking
Paul
should
when you're in
start.
here. Not as much, yeah.
So there you go then. What do you think of that? Another one done, another one in the bag, another week of the season gone, another week closer to the Super Bowl. How are you getting on in your fantasy league? Are you winning? Big thanks to Stuart and Matt for making the trip over. It's not always easy to get over, but it's always appreciated that they do. Everybody that watches on YouTube, make sure YouTube subscribers and all that good stuff. Everybody jump over to thecookiecast.com, check us out over there, send us some love. So there we go, another week gone. And until next week, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then. Bye.